So I'm excited to be on this call because it's just me. It's quiet in my house. I'm relaxing and really excited to share what we have going on today. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go over some stats because this is really important, especially moving into what I'm going to be sharing with all of you today. Our current circulating supply is 248,330 MoveQuest tokens. The liquidity vault is holding 2,137,135. This includes MoveQuest that comes in from Boost, that comes in from the mining dock, comes in from the Evolution, any of the MoveQuests that were used in the past to mint any miners, and then any of the MoveQuests that the ecosystem absorbs when it does any type of market correction, buying MoveQuest from the exchange, just so everybody understands where all that comes from. And it also includes the max amount of MoveQuest that could have been mined in the first year if we had met the growth and the demand needed to release those into circulation. It also does include those reserve MoveQuest tokens from August 1st to January of from August 1st of 2024 to January of 2025. For those of you who may wonder, those are also in there. It's about 200 and I think 220,000 or something like that MoveQuest. Those will be released from the liquidity vault. This means that all of that MoveQuest in there, minus those reserve tokens, will go into the liquidity. They have to be purchased before they can ever be sold. I know, you have to remember that MoveQuest, the project itself, never sells MoveQuest. It doesn't allocate any of the MoveQuest either. So it's not used for any marketing or budgeting expenses whatsoever. So that's a big perk for this project for in the crypto space, because you never see that a project doesn't sell its own token supply. The Hatchery Vault, where all of you are staking your MoveQuest for those additional MoveQuest rewards when you submit your proof of physical activity, is now holding 675,985 MoveQuest tokens. That's huge. Okay, so if you add up the circulating supply plus what's in the Hatchery Vault, that is the amount of MoveQuest that is held by the community. 73% of the MoveQuest owned by the community is in the vault, in the Hatchery Vault. That's huge. That shows massive support in this project. And it shows a major belief system in this project by the community as well. We went to the dynamic mining, I think it was 35 days ago or 37 days ago. I meant to put that on here. We were staying consistent at about 310,000 MoveQuest tokens that would have been in the circulating supply. Now, if you take what our current circulating supply is, as of today, about an hour ago, the ecosystem has absorbed in the last month, in a few days, over 62,000 MoveQuest tokens. This is a big deal. Okay. That means that the liquidity vault is holding those 62,000 tokens. Okay. So if they've been sold on the market and then the ecosystem either buys them or absorbs them, when I say absorbs them, it comes from market corrections. Okay. If there was overselling, then the ecosystem will come in. It'll remove a small percentage of liquidity. It buys MoveQuest, which means the market value comes back up a little bit, and then it injects the liquidity. And that extra MoveQuest from that market correction goes into the liquidity vault. And so it doesn't always take the market value back up to where it was, but it will stabilize it where it feels that it's a stable level, and then it injects that liquidity to pad that new market value. Oh, I had a duplicate slide in there, must be. Now, this is an important part for people to understand, and I think this is the last slide before I introduce Roadmap 2.0. The liquidity vault at its current market value, the MoveQuest token is holding $19,875,355 of future liquidity. This is really important to wrap your minds around, okay? In all of your other crypto projects, they don't have this vaulted amount of token. Why? Because they're allocating it to marketing expenses, their own admins, their developers, their designers, the creators, the co-founders, their partners, their investors, all this other stuff that goes on. So they're competing against their own market. We already hold a major amount of liquidity, millions of dollars in liquidity just in the MoveQuest token that will be paired to USDT and then injected as liquidity. This is half of the battle right there. And that's coming from the ecosystem dynamics. Now, I'm just giving you some ideas of how this actually starts to increase in value. And this is a huge part of our liquidity, because the higher the market value of the token, the less MoveQuest is needed to be paired to that USDT when it's injected as liquidity. So at today's market value, that liquidity vault has a market value of over $19 million. When MoveQuest reaches $20, that current liquidity vault has a market value of over $42 million. And that $42 million paired to $42 million of USDT gives you a liquidity pool of over $85 million. When MoveQuest reaches $100, that vault with its current holdings, and by then it'll have a whole lot more, but it would have a market value of $213 million. Paired to $213 million of USDT, you're looking at $400 and almost $30 million in liquidity. This happens very quickly with actually a very small amount of community growth. And I'm going to go over a lot more of this on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, those of you that want to come and listen for an hour, hour and a half with a deep dive into what all of these things mean is when I'm going to go over all of this so people have a really clear understanding of how all these dynamics work. This market value at $1,000, the current vault holding for the liquidity pool would be over $2 billion. That means you've got a liquidity pool of over $4 billion. We only have to produce the USDT because the ecosystem is consistently bringing in that MoveQuest from utility, the need for the MoveQuest, and also from the ecosystem when it pulls it in through the absorption from the pool. Currently, right now, with the holders, the 248,000, we're only 37% away from being fluid. $877,000 in USDT paired to that equal market value of MoveQuest, the pool's fluid, meaning that everybody basically would be able to sell at the market value that the pool went fluid. It would start to decrease a little bit as it went down, but not very much. At that point, it's a pretty stable market value, which means as it continues to go up, it just stabilizes in even more. So this is making sure that this project doesn't have an inflated market value. And at some point, it would actually have an oversupply in the liquidity pool, bringing any inflated market value even lower. So that's a very important part of this project, because you see in all these other projects out there, the hype, it pumps that price up, but it doesn't have adequate liquidity to be able to maintain that market value. And it has a very inflated market value. And that's what causes the crashes. Okay, so this project has made sure that we don't hit those issues with an inflated market value. And I'll go into it further on Tuesday, but this is completely anti-whale. With what's in the Hatchery vault and what's in the wallets, we're 45% away from being fluid. That's $2.8 million of USDT paired to $2.8 million of MoveQuest. Again, that's a big deal. And these are very good numbers. Liquidity pools like to be at a 50-50% ratio, and we are below that from being fluid, right? We are actually very strong, small community, you guys. We have a very small community. We have less than 2,500 people who are submitting every single day. Imagine when that hits 25,000 people, when it hits 250,000 people. Okay, it's going to be explosive and stable, and it's going to be that long term wealth that you're going to be able to live off of, that you're going to be able to build into legacy wealth for your families. And it's also willable, right? All of this can be transferred over to your heirs, whoever your beneficiaries are. Now let's talk about the Hatchery Vault so you know where these tokens are sitting. Now, the incubator, this is the vault where the MoveQuest doesn't go back. Okay, now it did in the beginning because remember we ran the promotion just for our current community. But then we had that cutoff period because this is where you spend that MoveQuest to mint those Vanguard miners. So there's a percentage of that 64,000 that won't go back into circulation, that will go into the liquidity vault. But I like to keep, worst case scenario. So this is included as all of it going back to the community holders, even though it doesn't. The nest has got 31,000. Okay, this is telling us right now that 69, almost 70,000 MoveQuest tokens are going to enter into that golden hatchery. Possibly with the incubator, some will sell, but the majority of the incubator, the highest majority, actually moves over into the golden hatchery. So there'll be a percentage of that will be sold, but the majority of that will go into the hatchery because it only makes sense. If you're not going to sell your MoveQuest tokens, why wouldn't you want to be in the golden hatchery where you can compound on a daily basis your MoveQuest rewards for submitting that proof of physical activity? And this is not like your typical staking models that you see on other platforms because you're not promised a return on your investment. It's not based on profit sharing. It's not based on what other people are doing. It's based on your proof of physical activity and the amount of MoveQuest that you deposited into that Golden Hatchery vault. And so if you submit your proof of physical activity for the day, you earn that MoveQuest reward for your proof of physical activity. If you don't submit your proof of physical activity, you don't get the reward for that day. So it's not your typical investment type of staking. It is based on your proof of physical activity and the amount of MoveQuest that you've deposited into the Hatchery vault. This is also, I believe, probably Monday because the update was submitted. Apple, they used to be they were fast as far as validating our app updates, but probably look for it either tomorrow or Monday. It'll be a mandatory update. And we've got that second layer of security where if for some reason you happen to fall on a phishing link, they will not be able to cancel your Hatchery cards and claim your MoveQuest tokens. Why? Because you've got to unlock it from your phone inside the MoveQuest app. So while they may get access to what's in your wallet, they will never be able to get what's inside your Hatchery because you have to cancel and claim that card. This gives you time to get with our customer support on Zoom, where you'll meet with them face to face. And then we actually, verify that you are the true owner of that wallet. And then we can help you transfer that compromised wallet. We can help you transfer those Hatchery cards into a new wallet so that the scammer does not get your MoveQuest tokens from that Hatchery. So we've been able to build in that second layer of security. A lot of the selling that you've seen, we had it was ridiculous amount. Are people that clicked on that fake phishing link and you gave permission to the scammers to steal your MoveQuest tokens. You've seen a lot of that selling pressure coming from that in particular. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have seen the selling pressure that you had. The Golden Hatchery, we have increased it to 600,000 because we want to make sure we can accommodate the incubator and the nest holders. If our submissions increase, we will be able to increase the golden hatchery as high as 765,000 MoveQuest tokens that can deposit into tier 4. But it is based on several, criterias based on submissions and engagement and all of this extra stuff, because it has to be able to stabilize that liquidity pool when that first golden hatchery card releases 210 days later. So total MoveQuest stake, almost 700,000 at 73%. You guys, that's huge. You guys should all be clapping. You guys should all be so extremely excited about this. This is a big deal. This means that you're involved in a project where the majority of the community is not selling their MoveQuest tokens. And you guys are going to love the roadmap 2.0, because you guys are going to be the first wealthiest individuals from this project if you follow and you understand what's about to take place. And I love this because guess what? Hayden doesn't know what my update is today. Herschel doesn't know what my update is today. Waleed told me, as we've been talking about what Roadmap 2.0 will look like, over the last few years. And yesterday, as he's shaking his head, said, oh boy, I guess I'm going to have to be single for another year, because he's going to be locked down at his computer. But this isn't a 4-year roadmap. This is about some of this will take place very quickly. Some of this will take place and be finalized over the next year, but you'll see why in just a minute. So Tuesday night, I'm going to really dive into what this Roadmap 2.0 is about. So you guys are going to get the sneak peek, enough to really make you excited to come back on Tuesday night to learn even more, reconnect with people that have, been mining in MoveQuest and maybe are taking a rest from it because they really don't want to relax on this project. Everybody needs to re-engage with what is going on. We are getting ready to implement our multi-chain expansion. I'm going to be explaining to you how MoveQuest will be a wrapped token. So there won't be multiple pools of MoveQuest. There will be a pool and a market value. Yes, there'll be a pool on the different chains, but it's a wrapped token and it will come out of the same pool holdings. I'm also going to really deep dive into the upcoming MoveQuest Avalanche subnet. This is a big deal. We'll go over the new ecosystem utilities and how these upgrades strengthen MoveQuest, the miners, the hatcheries, and the entire economy. So our Roadmap 2.0, it's not a small update. This is a major, major transformation. We have really grown massively over the last 12 to 14 months. We have thousands of daily users. We have tens of thousands of miners. We're pushing almost the 100,000 miner mark. This does not include the phantom miners. We have millions that are locked in the liquidity vault. We have a stable, sustainable token model. We have a complete proof of physical activity mining engine. Our expansion is growing into partner tokens, and we have a proven system with real global usage. Now what we're doing is we're going to prepare the ecosystem for that larger user base, for that global adoption, for more and a better app store scaling, new partner projects, cross-chain integrations, institutional attention, and the future of MoveQuest as its own blockchain. Okay, this is a major, major deal, especially for you holders of MoveQuest. This means that MoveQuest becomes a coin, not a token. So the Roadmap 2.0, it is designed to future-proof MoveQuest. We are expanding MoveQuest across 5 major blockchains. Avalanche is our home chain. The Smart Chain, which we're updating currently. Solana, Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, and we are researching and deciding if we will include Base. When you do the update on the app, when it comes out, you will see these chains listed in your options. Of course, you can only mine on the Avalanche and the Smart Chain at the moment, but we wanted to make sure that our community seen the chains that we will be introducing in a very short time frame from now. And they will be Solana, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum to start with. That is going to give you 6 blockchains to mine the MoveQuest tokens on. It is going to open up the doors to more projects. We have projects on all of these chains that want to come on board to our platform. And so these are the ones that we're integrating the soonest. We can do an unlimited amount of blockchains, just so you know, but these are the ones that we're going to implement right away. Each chain allows MoveQuest to increase our visibility, tap into new communities, access new liquidity, lower the fees for all of our users, because now the fees will be distributed amongst 5 to 6 different blockchains, not just the Avalanche chain. It's going to be able to introduce MoveQuest to new ecosystems, and it's going to provide instant utility for all of, I don't like calling them partner projects because we're not responsible for their projects, but they are projects that are going to be using our protocol and our utility system, our mining system. Any project can come on board and mine their tokens. We have a vetting process they have to go through just to make sure they're legitimate. They're not rug pulls. They're not scams. I mean, we're not going to introduce, crappy projects. That doesn't guarantee that they're going to last forever, but it allows us to give them that utility that they need, that gives them that self-funding ecosystem to help them build that liquidity that comes from their community's user engagement, where they don't have to continuously look for those new monies that all of these other projects need. MoveQuest doesn't need new money. Okay, we need a growing community because that's what crypto is about. It's about that peer-to-peer community, the more use for those tokens. But MoveQuest doesn't rely on that money. That's why we give you free miners when you unlock your mining doc slot. That's why we give you the phantom miners to get started with. We don't rely on that. This is how MoveQuest is going to become that global multi-chain fitness mining network. This right here is one of the biggest upgrades in our roadmap 2.0. We are going to be building the MoveQuest subnet, which is our own blockchain built on the Avalanche technology. This gives MoveQuest ultra low fees. We no longer depend on AVAX gas spikes. High-speed proof of physical activity submissions, perfect for large-scale global adoption. Near zero congestion, because our network is optimized only for MoveQuest and our partner projects. MoveQuest becomes the gas token. All of you holding that MoveQuest, do you get what I'm saying to you? You're not going to have to go buy AVAX to submit. You're going to have to buy MoveQuest, and you guys are holding the MoveQuest bags, not the project, not the admins, not me, not Waleed. All of you are holding the future gas token that people are going to have to buy to submit that proof of physical activity. This adds massive real utility to that token, above and beyond all of the other utility that we have for MoveQuest. This is huge, everyone, what we're doing. We have complete control over the security and our features. We can customize the chain to support everything that MoveQuest needs. It's a dedicated home for MoveQuest partner tokens. And every new project built with MoveQuest will gain instant blockchain level support. This is where MoveQuest becomes more than an app. This is when MoveQuest becomes that true infrastructure. This is the part that matters the most for all of you holders. Roadmap 2.0 makes MoveQuest more scarce because movement across chains locks that native MoveQuest token. More valuable because MoveQuest becomes the gas token for the subnet. More useful because it powers miners, boosts, hatcheries, evolution, challenges, partner ecosystems, and soon our own blockchain. It makes us more visible. Multi-chain listings give MoveQuest massive exposure. It makes us even more stable than we already are because liquidity is no longer tied to user provided LPT like your other like your other projects do. And our other move to earn projects don't have to have their users provide that LP token, right? They don't have to provide that liquidity. It alleviates all of that because now all of these projects that have to have their communities supply that liquidity, it's no longer necessary because they're mining on our platform, they're using our blockchain, and they've got a self-funded ecosystem that's providing that liquidity. So across the board, any project that wants to use our platform, they don't have to be fitness projects. It can be any crypto project. It removes the need for the communities of their projects to tie their liquidity into user provided LP. We already don't do that, right? Because we already have this system and we're already using it, but it's going to open it up to all of these other projects to be able to do the same thing. And we have fixed an entire problem across the entire crypto space just with the MoveQuest blockchain. Our tokenomics remain untouched. It's the same fixed supply, vault-based mining, and zero inflation. This roadmap is a direct upgrade to long-term MoveQuest strength. The Roadmap 2.0 will enhance the entire mining experience. More demand for miners, higher value due to scarcity, greater need for leasing, more opportunities with other project partner tokens, expanded applicant pool as new chains integrate, increased global adoption through lower fees. Future miner categories and evolutions will be made possible. Mining becomes more powerful, not less. This roadmap brings more users, more activity, more liquidity, more token sinks, more utilities, more value to the ecosystem, more global reach, more incentives for staying active, more opportunities to build wealth through movement. MoveQuest becomes the leading global fitness mining infrastructure, not just a move to earn app. The MoveQuest supply is fixed. Our demand is growing. The utility is exploding. The subnet will change everything. Multi-chain support expands our reach to millions. Partner projects multiply the ecosystem, and MoveQuest is being built for longevity, sustainability, massive future adoption. So those who stay close to this project, those who understand what's being built, are the ones who are going to the moon with MoveQuest. This roadmap is not a 4-year roadmap. By spring, probably sooner, we will have all of the blockchains added that we're going to launch off with. So I would say, if Wally's on the phone or on this Zoom, don't have a heart attack, but I would guess that within the next 90 to 120 days, you will see all 5 or 6 of these blockchains integrated. He's wrapping up challenges right now. The leasing is already done. We've got a few other things I'm going to release on Tuesday night that I haven't released here because I'm still mapping out all the details in the documentation for this for everybody. But we're wrapping up our roadmap 1. Okay, by the end of the year, we're done with our roadmap 1. 4 years of development. We've finalized our first roadmap. How many projects have you guys been in where every project promised you this roadmap and they didn't complete it and they were gone before they probably made it to their quarter 2 or quarter 4 roadmap promise? We've completed our entire roadmap in our first 4 years, which is exactly what we intended to do. We figured it would take us 4 years. Not some areas took us longer than others, but we did see it as a 3 to 4 year roadmap. And we did get behind by about 10 months on our rebrand. So that's where I say the 3 to 4 year roadmap. This roadmap 2.0, it should be less than 1 year. Okay, the subnet blockchain, we're not going to go out and rewrite the wheel. We're going to use the Avalanche subnet, which it cuts down on the cost of what we need, but it's still our own blockchain. That's the beauty of the Avalanche blockchain. Avalanche is it can be very challenging, very frustrating, gas fees, and some of the RPC issues that you see when you're using the MetaMask wallet. But if you go outside of the C chain and you really explore what the Avalanche chain has, it's a massive chain and it has a lot of opportunity for projects. I am going to go over on Tuesday night what's going to happen with the MoveQuest token on the smart chain, okay? Because we are only going to have the existing MoveQuest token. across all chains. And I'm going to let you know on Tuesday exactly how we're going to integrate the MoveQuest token on the smart chain into the wrapped MoveQuest. It's not going to increase the supply. It's going to be a conversion for everybody there. You'll be able to convert to the GFAM or the MoveQuest here, and we'll let you know how that's going to roll out. I'm also going to be doing updates, not this Tuesday, and not that it's going to be, let's see, the second week of December. The second Tuesday of December, I will give you all the updates on the Binance Smart Chain and how that's going to roll out. All of you who are in our community, we want to make sure you can mine on every single blockchain that we introduce. Why? Because you're here, but you're going to have to show that you have been supportive of this project and engaged. This means that over the next 120 days, you will have to submit 90 days out of 120, and we will make sure that your mining DAC slots and miners are on each chain. That's a huge deal. Why will we do that? Well, because you've been here through all of the development process. Anybody who comes in, once all these chains are activated, deployed, and ready to rock and roll, they will pick the chains that they want to mine on. They will unlock the DAC slots that they want to unlock. They will mint the miners that they want to use on whichever blockchain it is. It's only the existing community that will have this option. So if we see explosive growth over the next 90 days, for an example, this will be part of our ongoing promotion that we've been running. Okay, and I'm going to give you the details on this on Tuesday. We want to make sure that we have a window for people that have been kind of sitting on the fence, what they want to do or not do, to still be able to take advantage of being able to mine on the multiple blockchains without the expense or having to pick one or the other, right? Not everybody who comes in will be on all of the chains. They'll mine on one or two, and if they want to be on all, they have to mint their miners to mine on all of them. They'll have the advantage of the phantom miners to be able to get started, but they will not have the advantage of those who are here now. And it is a requirement of submitting for 90 days out of the 120. So let's say somebody comes in 30 days from now. Will they still have to mine the 90 days? Yes, they would still have to mine the 90 days. We'll have a cutoff date for them out of their 120. So it's not today, 120 days. Current community starts today and you have 90 days. But if you are a new user who gets started 20 days from now, your 120 days would start 20 days from now, but we will cut that 120 days off at some point, and at that point, it's done. I know I might be sounding confusing right now, but this is our roadmap 2.0. It's not a 4-year roadmap. It's a max 1-year roadmap. We expect all the chains to be up within the next 120 days, at which time we will begin the move over to our own blockchain, the subnet, with Avalanche. And we expect that to take anywhere from 6 months to 1 year. So we could go a little over that year, I guess, because I have to give the time that's necessary to get all that up, but it could go a lot faster than that too. So we could be looking at 1 to 1.5 years to be up on that subnet, which is fine. There is an expense to that to operate that. Optimal, we should have about 200,000 users submitting when we do open up that subnet, which I'm very confident that we will absolutely have that. So that is, oh, look, I forgot one. So MoveQuest, we're entering into our next era. Blockchain, multi-chain, subnet, expanded utilities, major ecosystem upgrades, a stronger foundation for the next decade. So if you think MoveQuest was big before, you really haven't seen anything yet. And I really am grateful to every single one of you that's been a part of this community. I hear different things that come back through. Some people get disgruntled about, the time it took for this or the time it took for that or a delay. One thing you will have learned about me is I'm a perfectionist and I do not lie to you. I am very transparent with you. and I do what I say I'm going to do. Wall lead is all of those things times 10, almost to a fault. So where I think I'm obsessive, wall lead is actually even more so than I am. So we make a really good team when it comes to being able to trust us. If we tell you we're going to do something, we are going to do it. Those of you who have been here from the beginning, you probably didn't think we were, but here we are. And we do, we did, and we always will. That is one thing that you can hang your hat on. And so we really do appreciate you for believing in us, for sticking through all of the bumps and the bruises and the potholes and everything else that we've gone through on this journey that has led us to the end of Roadmap 1 and the beginning of Roadmap 2. On Tuesday, I do have more to introduce. This is just kind of that teaser I told you all that I would give you, but there's so much more. And so make sure that you are here on Tuesday. And I hope you guys are super excited about this. This is a big deal. This is where we move into that next level. And this is where I think you'll really see that major growth and expansion. So that is what I have for everybody today.